What's up, y'all? Gonna reload some 9mm Luger. First step, well, actually second step, we've cleaned the brass so it's nice and shiny. Put it in a tumbler for a few hours. Now we're gonna deprime and resize the shell. So we have our Lee die, depriming and resizing die. So we're gonna do that first step. When it goes up, it'll take the primer out and resize the shell. So primer's out and the shell has been resized. You can kind of see where it went into the die and it got squeezed back into the original size of the shell. So first step. Okay. So our next step now is to put a flare on the end of the shell. Now the way the shell is right now, the bullet will not seat on top because the mouth of the shell is too small, so the bullet will not stay in place. So what we got to do is we got to flare the mouth of the shell to make it wider, just so the bullet can seat on the top. So I have my flaring die, which is also a charging die. I can actually put powder down into the shell and charge it with gunpowder, but we won't do that. We're just going to widen the mouth of the shell, so we'll do that step. Very easy step. So now the mouth of the shell is a little wider, so the bullet will actually set. The bullet will actually set into the shell, no problem. So we can charge it and then seat the bullet without no problems. So next step, got a lot of brass, so it's gonna take a while. Okay. Now our next step is resizing the bullet. When you cast the bullet, it don't always come out the diameter that it's supposed to be, so we have to put it through a sizing machine, and for 9 it'll be 0.356. So we put the bullet on the little shaft here, and it goes up into this die that has an orifice that sizes the bullet to the correct diameter. Otherwise it won't load into the gun properly. It'll get stuck and you'll have misfeeds. So push it up and it just goes up in there. And the bullets collect on this little canister on top. And once the bullets are sized, then we'll have to lube them. The lubing process is so the lead won't build up on inside the barrel, because there's no jacket on these bullets like a regular bullet. A regular bullet has a copper jacking, and not exposing the lead like on one of our casted bullets. This is all lead, so as it travels down the barrel, it will leave some lead residue inside the barrel. So when you lube it, it prevents too much lead coming off into the barrel. So that we'll do that after we size these bullets. And you know, some of them are more difficult to put through the press than others because they're different sizes. But once they go through the die, they'll all be the same diameter. So we'll have a consistent ammo supply. Alright. So the next step is priming our shells. They've been deprimed, so now we have to put the primers in. And simple. Use our little hand priming tool. Looks pretty easy. Sometimes you got to give it a little shake to seat the primer in the little hole there. But basically it just shoves the primer up into the hole, and it seats it in there. Pretty easy. Primers are kind of hard to get. Ammo stores, supply stores are usually sold out of them, so when they come in, they go pretty quick. I was lucky enough to get some Winchester small pistol primers, and they are going up in price. For 1,000, I paid $34, which is kind of high. It makes the expense of making bullets go that much more. But really, that's the only thing that I'm paying any money for, is the powder and the primers. The powder I got a pretty good deal at a gun store. They had a clearance aisle and they were getting rid of it. So I got about 4 pounds for 35 bucks, which is pretty freaking cheap. So I'll be able to make a lot of bullets with that. Just the primers are kind of hard to find. I'll probably pick some up when I go to Arizona in next week. They always got plenty of stuff. Powder, primers, magazines, you name it. Arizona, they're good about their gun stuff, unlike California. Anyway, that's my rant for today. So the next step in preparing our lead casted bullets is to coat them with a lubricant. We'll be using this Lee liquid Alox. You just squirt a little bit into the bag and put your bullets in there and kind of shake it around, kind of like shaking bait. You just make sure all the bullets are coated. once they're coated, you put them in on a plate with wax paper so they don't stick, and leave them there for a day to dry. And these are dry. Once they're dry, you can feel like a waxy coating on them. And this is you do this to prevent leading of your barrel, which is leaving lead residue. When you fire your gun, the bullet will leave a little traces of lead on your rifling of your barrel. And this will help prevent that. So after you fire lead casted bullets, your barrel should be not all leaded up and dangerous to fire. So this is an important step. Step is to charge and press the bullet in. So we have our primed shell, prime case, and we're going to charge it with this lead charger. It's already preset to 6 grains, 6.1 grains, which is max load for a 9mm. And so it's preset. Every time I pull the handle down, 6.1 grains will fall into the shell. So there we go. I don't know if you can see, but the shell is pretty full of gunpowder now. So the next step is pressing in the bullet. So we take our bullet, put it on top, and press it. And there we have it. We have our bullet pressed in with gunpowder. Now and we'll do the same process. Bullet, press, another bullet, charge, okay. Now the bullet sets in there real easy because part of the steps of prepping our cases was widening the mouth of the shell. The shell has a flare on it, so the bullet is able to sit without falling off, thus giving it making it easier to press in. The final step will be crimp, where we'll run it through a die and it'll put a crimp. It'll press the shell around the bullet, giving it a real tight fit, making it real tight in there, and giving the bullet and the seat a nice snug fit. And it also helps the bullet load easier into the gun when it's cycling through the gun. A lot of people don't do that final step, and they have a lot of problems of the bullets feeding. They'll get jammed up into their barrel, and they'll have to pull that round out because the shell is too wide. The mouth on the shell is too wide for the bullet to fit into the barrel of the gun, and it ends up jamming in the gun. So I think the final crimp is very important for consistency of your bullet shells, your bullets in general. That way they're all the same size, all uniformed. Uniformity is the key to having less problems at the range and more shooting time, more fun time. So I think doing all the proper steps pretty important, and make sure all your measurements are precise. This can be dangerous if you don't, measure everything right. You can have a lot of problems. So make sure you have your manual. You refer to your manual on all your measurements, your lengths, your widths, diameters, your charges, your weight, everything. And so we come to our final step, which is the final crimp. Basically, we're just putting a crimp on the end of the shell that kind of tightens the shell around the bullet. Pretty easy, not much to it. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's a crimp. It crimps it into the bullet all the way around evenly, thus giving it a nice seal and making a little taper, so when it goes into the barrel of the firing chamber of the gun, it won't get caught up on the edge of the shell. So it's a nice smooth entry into the firing chamber of the gun. So pretty important, I think. Get less jams with this final step. So that's why we do it. Anyway, so that's it. We're all done with reloading. There's 1,000 rounds, 9mm. They all came up pretty good. And still got a lot of brass and not too many bullets left. A little bit of powder left, but all out of primers. Used a box of 1,000 rounds of primer. Went pretty quick, so gonna have to get some more primers if I want to make some more. And I did the math, and this cost me about 5 cents a round. So it let's see, 35 for the powder, 34 for the primers, so 69. Yeah, about $70 to make 1,000 rounds of 9mm. So yeah, not bad. Usually I'd probably pay around $250 for that many. So yeah, it's worth it. It took a while, but it's fun. I like doing it, so to me it's worth it. Anyway, that's all. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.